2011 F-250 6.7 Power Stroke. Today we're going to be doing a repair on this underhood fuse box right here. I'll go through the troubleshooting things that we've done with this particular truck, but if you've got any sort of situation you're dealing with where you believe that there is a broken connection down inside this fuse box that you can't fix by simply swapping out a broken relay, a burnt fuse, something like that, and it's down inside the guts, then I think you'll find this video useful. Troubleshooting for this particular case, truck came in with no crank, no start. We'd put the key in, roll it over. We'd get lights, gauges, all the bells and whistles, but turn the key, no start, not even a click. All of the starting system troubleshooting stuff is available on the internet. We went through all of that. We were able to jump power from the starter lug up to the solenoid. The starter would run and crank the engine, which told us the batteries and all that stuff was good. All the relays and everything checked out in the starting system. Then we noticed at that time that with key on, we weren't getting a glow plug light, we weren't getting a check engine light, we couldn't hear a fuel pump prime. That indicates the PCM's not coming online. All the gauges and all the rest of the lights are controlled by the body control module, which is down there in the passenger floorboard. The powertrain control module controls those three things. So we went through the troubleshooting process for no power to the PCM. All that data is readily available on the internet. You'll find that this big gray fuse back here, or I'm sorry, relay, is relay number 38. It's called the PCM power relay, although it's not the sole thing that's responsible for feeding power to the PCM. What it does do is supply power in hot run to fuse 33 through 37 right here under it. The pole towards the back of the truck and the pole towards the front of the truck are larger blades on the relay. Those are your power connections that feed power to the fuses when the relay is closed. And the poles on the driver's side and passenger side, they're smaller. Those are the control coil feeds. The one on the driver's side is the hot side, and the ground is the one on the passenger side. That relay is activated by the PCM by switching the ground on. When the truck is off, you'll find that there's no ground on the relay for the control coil. That happens through a brown with white striped wire from this connector right here on the PCM. Pop this off and find pin 38. These can be a little stubborn. Pin 38 on here goes to the ground over there. That's what the PCM uses to activate the relay. That's actually the wire that we found bad on this truck. So as you're troubleshooting, access to the fuse box is going to be through the wheel well, so we need to get the wheel well cover out. You've got an 8mm bolt with fender washer here, another one up here, and one right here. There's also two more under here, plastic push pin right here, and you've got 5.5mm around fender. Now we need to get the fuse box free so we can work with it. You've got a couple connectors here that attach to the mounting bracket with just plastic push connectors, and up top you've got two 13 bolts, and it hooks in to the side of the body on here. Once you get all that undone, the fuse box will be freed up and you can get to it, start working with it. Now this part was honestly a pain. This is the metal bracket that the fuse box sits in. It's got these posts on all four corners. These slide up in to slots on the side of the fuse box on all four corners, and it's got these little plastic tabs that you have to push in on, which disengages from this hole in the metal, and you got to figure out how to do all four of them, and You get one out and then it clicks back in while you're trying to do the other one. It was a big pain in the butt. You just got to work with it until you get it off. Good luck. Now we're going to get this fuse box pulled apart. There's a cover on the back. It has several of these little thumb tabs that you pull out on all the way around it. There's a trough. There's two of these that the wire bundles come in on, and your wire bundles will be zip tied to it. Once you get the back off and get all of that free, flip it over and we're going to pull the fuses and relays out of the top. I recommend you watch the rest of this video before you go any further, because in a way this is actually split in two, and you may not have to pull all of it. You might only have to do half.
I had to take the fuse box apart to figure out how to get the wires out. It may be possible to remove wires from the fuse box without taking the top completely apart. Give it a try and let us know how it goes in the comments.
Next thing you'll need to do is remove these. They're kind of like an overlay that sit in the fuse box. The fuses and relays seat down on top of. They just kind of fit in like this and snap in place. There's two sections, so depending on which section you're working on, you may only have to remove one side. I got that one flipped around. There we go. Anyway, those just snap in place. Now, it can be really difficult to get these out. They have little clips all over the place. Basically, I just took a small screwdriver and slowly worked at it until I got them pried up and popped out. They do come out. I probably spent a good half an hour getting these out, just trying to get them out without breaking them. So take your time, work at it. They will eventually come out when you find the little clips and push in just the right spot. Okay, with this layer of the fuse box removed, you can see the top of each terminal connector inside the fuse box. Each one, see if we can get the lighting right here, has a little plastic tab on the side of it that you'll need to push to the side with a screwdriver or a similar tool, and then slide the connector out the back. You can see the little black plastic tab right there. Each one of them has one of those on it. I used a small flat blade and a pick to get them out. I just extracted the next connector that I'm going to be working on. Here's what the empty hole looks like. You can see the little black tab that you have to push to the side to get it out. And when they slide out the back, they look something like that. This is the female connector for a relay, and as you can see, this wire is in pretty rough shape, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it while I'm in here. Yep, there it goes. I fished the electrical connector that broke off out from underneath the truck, crimped on a new piece of wire as a pigtail, added some solder just for security and a little bit of heat shrink, and now we are going to put it back where it goes, in from the back, and these are keyed in a slot, so they'll only go one way. Slides up in until it clicks. There it goes. For those of you that are making the same or similar repair as I am, I'll give you some reference points here. Those are the two connection points on the back of the fuse box. Those go to relay 38. It's the PCM power relay. These are the wires that feed the control coil that does the switching in the relay. The white wire on the bottom, that is the ground side. It would be on the passenger side of the vehicle as the fuse box sits normally like this. It's on the bottom at this angle. It attaches to brown and white. That goes to pin 38 on the PCM connector. The other wire that I have yellow on the top sits on the driver's side as the fuse box sits normally in the truck. That is the 12 volt power feed for the coil, and it connects to these two wires right here. Looks like red and violet, and red and violet.